I guess I'd better put this bad boy on, since it's pertinent part of my day, I guess. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cocktail Hour. I'm your host, Weebo Jones, and currently I am drinking Le Petit Paysan, a 2017 vintage from San Benito, California. It is a 78% Zinfandel and 22% Cabernet Pfeffer. I think that's how you pronounce that. Here's what the front of the bottle looks like. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Did you have a good poop?
I did.
That's good. Read the back. Cabernet Pfeffer is only grown in America, specifically in small, old wine California vineyards. Winemakers who discover the grape and its spicy flavor become obsessed instantly. And Ian Brand was no exception. This wine is his forced foray with Pfeffer, and was made to pair as well with a burger as with an apple pie. That's a wine I can get behind. It is like paired as something that you would drink with something fruity or savory, or it is fruity or savory. I don't know. I'm still learning. I am but a noob. I have no idea where Polly is, by the way. He's probably going to get here at like 7:45, and then we're going to run for 2 hours straight after that. I don't know. We'll find out. Yes, French words. I know. Surrenderland. What are you going to do? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a red. I'm not usually the biggest fan of red on its own. I'd prefer to have red with something else, like cheese and crackers, or grapes, or a nice steak, specifically. A nice steak would be really nice with this. A red wine, depending on how bitter it is, can go really well with a meal. Specifically, something with red meat in it. That's what I've come to find out. White wines typically go better with, depending on how sweet the wine is. If it's a sweet wine, you can drink it by itself, or it's a dessert wine. Or if it's a less sweet white, you can pair it with chicken or pork. You can mix and match between red and white with pork, though. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I'm not an expert in Queen, but I do know a thing or two, and I have been drinking it for, about 2 years to 3 years now. Yeah, it's about. I do not have cheese on me currently. There's some in the fridge, but then I'd have to leave you to go and grab it. Probably obvious, I'm not wearing my glasses today, and that is because I now have contacts. And I'm training myself to be able to wear them for long periods of times. Right now, let's say I put them in at 8 this morning, give or take. It took me half an hour to put them in my face, but I put them in at 8 this morning. So we're on hour 11, which is a very, very long time for me. Because I started out at 3 hours on Wednesday of this week, and now I've made it 11 hours without taking them out. Of course, I did take a little bit of a nap there, and I know I'm not supposed to do that, but no one tell my optometrist, okay? I did take a nap. I was tired. The thing about wearing contacts that I have discovered is that I have apparently very dry eyes, so I have to constantly blink and do this and look retarded all the while. It's a great time. Fantastic. My eyes hurt. My eyes really hurt. Not hurt. It's just they're irritated more so than they would be if I had the glasses on. But I do have to get used to this. My understanding is that I can bring this up with my optometrist, that the contacts make my eyes feel super dry, and I can get a different brand of contacts that don't do that. So it's all a trial and error process. I'm still on the trial stuff. So I didn't drop a ton of cash on a bunch of contacts that, don't work for my eyeballs. I wouldn't do that. they're the trial period contacts. I have another appointment on Tuesday to go pick up or to go talk with the optometrist about maybe getting some different contacts. I should probably call ahead and let them know that I'm having some dry eye issues so that they can go ahead and order different trial contacts. Because apparently, here's the thing, my prescription is such that they didn't have it on hand, so they couldn't just give me the trial contacts the day that they're like, yeah, we can give you contacts. So I had to go back later to go pick them up and get trained how to use them, because there's this whole process. They won't let you leave with the contacts until you know how to put them in and take them out, and all of the other little fun steps involved in that shenanigans. So yeah, the contacts were a new thing, and it's good that I got them just in time for today, because, well, you see, today was the day I got to walk across the stage of my alma mater for the first time. We went down to my school this weekend on Friday for the weekend to kind of, well, be there for the reception for the university, because there were a whole bunch of other students that graduated last year that, of course, also did not get to walk the stage due to certain paninis abound across the universe, and that affected everybody. So we had a reception, hung out with some friends that I knew in college, gave them the skinny on where I'm at with my life. Apparently, it's unorthodox to have both a job in one's field and be moved out of one's parents' house. More often than not, people haven't figured it out, haven't gotten what they wanted, or we're going off to grad school, which is basically the same thing as I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. So, yeah. We got to walk across the stage today, which I don't know how to describe my experience of being back on campus. Like, I knew I wasn't going to not go back on campus ever again. We went back on campus for my cousin's birthday in September last year, and for Parents' Weekend, I believe. And that was after I had graduated and been kicked off campus. I don't know, it felt weird. Because remember, back in March, if y'all were around then, we got the news that we had to pack up and leave campus, and we had a week to do so. And so I'm like, I'm taking the full fucking week. We'll work as much as I can, because I'm going to have to quit my job. I need to pack and shit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then within 24 hours of that notification, they told us we had to be off campus that next Monday. And this was on like a Friday or Saturday. So it's jarring. It was very jarring removal of people from the campus. Like, straight up, they told us, unless you have an exception, you need to be out now. Preferably now. If not, 2 days from now. No exceptions. Or a few exceptions. It was a disaster. It was nuts. It was full panic mode. We didn't even have full, 24 hours to grieve because we were busy packing. And it was fucked, man. Because that was my senior year. And I wanted to do so much with that rest of the semester. Balik, I was having a live stream the moment I found out. And I'm like, the world is ending. Because, me being me, super dramatic. I was more emotional then than I was when my mother told me that she was divorcing my father at 6 years of age. Partially probably because I didn't quite fully understand what was going on at 6 years old, but also partially because this is something that was directly impacting me. It was a me thing. It's solely a me, well, not solely a me thing, but it was I'd still be able to see both my parents. All fine and dandy, not a big deal, but I can no longer be on campus. I can no longer see all of the friends that I made over the last 3.5 years. I can no longer go to classes. Who knows what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I was super upset. Irate Prostate remembers. It's bad. It's bedtime. I cried a lot. I cried unabashedly. Balik doxed me in the live stream and came into the room and started crying too. Yeah, he did drop the G word. It was a disaster. It was emotional. I was a wreck for weeks afterwards. Put me in a slump, not gonna lie. To lose your graduation, or not just your graduation, but like to lose the rest of your senior year. And then to add insult to injury, we kept getting these updates about like the rest of how the school year was going to go. And it didn't look like anything was going to clear up with COVID. So graduation was either canceled or pushed to a live stream event. And they're like, you can vote on whether or not you'd want to come back at some point and do all this jazz. And I'm like, it's not going to be the same though. And then a couple weeks later, I got this bad boy and the gown in the mail, and I started crying again, all over again. So it's bad. It's very bad. So when we showed up on campus on Friday, it was really late, really late. We were staying at this hole in the wall Roach Motel. We call it the Roach Motel, but it's a motel that people have a tendency to stay for very long periods of time at, and the walls are the ceilings are slanted. There's no toilet seat cover in the bathroom, and you do not want to sleep with the bedding that they give you. Although no one told me that before we went down there. Because yes, they wash the sheets and the blanket, but they do not wash the comforter. Oh, and the AC broke while we were there too, and it was like blistering hot. So, but we show up there. We're staying at the College Inn, and I don't know. I just walking around campus and seeing campus, but not actually being a student there, not actually having the obligation to go to class while there. It felt really fucking weird. Like having a student ID still and not having it probably work for any of the buildings. I didn't try because that would have probably just depressed me the fuck up. I don't know. I went there expecting to get closure, and I don't really feel like I did. Because I only saw a few of my teachers. I didn't see Balik because he's down in NC for grad school, and he's in the Outer Banks right now, sonaring the Outer Banks for 3 weeks, so he wasn't there. And honestly, Caleb was part of what made college such a fun time, such a memorable time, because he's my best friend in college. Missed that fucking asshole. And I'm mad at him for missing graduation, but, I get it. It's out of his control, but I'm still mad. He's going to make it up to me, though. He's going to take me to a steakhouse. We're going to steal all of the rolls from the steakhouse. Yeah, no, we had some good times. I remember freshman year of college, me and Balik and a couple of our other friends, we I'd never been to a Hooters. Never been to a Hooters. So Balik and our 2 other friends took me to a Hooters for the first time. We had a great time. It was fantastic. But on the way back, we stopped at Sorry, I can't say it with a straight face. We stopped at a sex store because I was curious, because I'd never been inside of one. But I told the old boyfriend as soon as it happened, I was like, babe, going into a sex store. It's going to be so cool. And I remember that was where I first started my obsession with penis gummy bears. Or penis gummies. Because that was where I got my first penis gummies. Good times. Oh, and then there was the time that I had to babysit Balik because he'd taken 12 shots of vodka in a single hour, on top of everything that he'd been drinking previously. And then he's like, let's go to a party, because he'd done that as a pregame. And then he met up with me and another friend of ours to go to the party. And he walks up to us holding this solo cup full of, I'm pretty sure it was vodka. I'm talking about the time that Balak almost gave himself alcohol blood poisoning or whatever.
Alcohol blood poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning or a concussion. Either way. So he walks up to us and he drops the red solo cup. Then the dumbass goes down to pick it up and he just keeps going down, smacks his face into the stone floor. And I'm surprised the motherfucker didn't break his nose with the fucking size of the honker that he had right here. He got a big nose. He goes down. His nose is bleeding. His face is bleeding. And me and the other friend, we have to carry him all the way back to his room. And then we babysat him the rest of the evening for like the next 4 hours. We didn't end up going to the party. It would have been the only party that I would have actually like gone to and probably had fun at in my entire college career. And it didn't end up happening. So we like formal actual like party didn't happen. So we walk him back up to his room, put him on his bed, give him a bowl, his popcorn bowl. We gave him his popcorn bowl because we didn't have anything else. This was when we were sophomores, so this was before we lived in the same house together, but we were in the same dorm. So we're in his single, and we give him the bowl, and we're trying to keep him awake for the whole time because this boy is either gonna die of alcohol poisoning or gonna die because he fell asleep in a concussed state, and we don't know what to do. And we're like, do you think we need to take him to the hospital? We might need to take him to the hospital. No fucking clue. So we stay with him for the next 4 hours. He threw up a few times. We got it all cleaned up. He got 5-starred by another one of our friends who came into the room to see what was up. 5-starred the motherfucker on the stomach. And he wasn't even fazed by that. He was just like, oh, hi. Swear to God. It was the most amusing thing ever. But the other friend, the one that didn't 5-star him, but the one that he met up with me with. I'm just going to call her Mad D. Because that's the closest nickname that I can get for her. She was so upset. She was very, very, very ticked off with Balak for that because she was so worried about him. And I'm just like, oh, he's going to be fine. As long as we keep him awake for the next however many hours, he's going to be fine. My biggest concern, I didn't think he was concussed. But of course, it was very hard to tell because he was super drunk. My biggest concern was I was just going to choke on his own vomit because he puked most of it up. So after that, he was good. Deco asks, what's with the graduation cap? Well, I graduated today. I walked the stage of my alma mater today, a year after actually graduating from college. So that's why we're wearing this today. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that I have despicable hat head from the rest of the day prior to this point. It absolutely is because of that. But I also wanted to bring a talking point to the stream because I knew that Polly was going to be a little bit late because from what I understand, he's got a very, I don't know what adjective I would use, but he's got a contract right now, a research contract that obligates him to meet with his contractor, the person who contracted him, on Sundays around this time. So if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, it's fine. We will persevere. I have plenty to talk about, plenty to update the people on, etc., etc. So yeah, do I have any more good stories about college and Balak? I do. Okay, so year 3, we're living in the same house together with Balak, Mad D, Magnus Pater, who went on to do fuck all. Doesn't talk to us anymore. And then the foreign exchange, two foreign exchange students, one from Japan, one from Korea. The Japanese one being very, very nice. The Korean one didn't really talk to us ever. But So El Boyfriendo has a tendency to drunkenly Amazon purchase things for me and send them to me. Or at least he did in college. Right, dear? Drunken Amazon purchasing?
Yeah, I've done that.
Mm-hmm. Remember when you got me squirt guns?
Yep.
Yeah. So he sent me squirt guns at college. He sent me squirt guns at college, and I got them, and chaos ensued. Because of course it did. What happens when you put like 4 college students in the same house together that they don't own and that they don't have to maintain? Well, you see. Well, actually, we did maintain it. But you see, chaos. We had a squirt gun fight in the house in the middle of summer, which wasn't bad because that wasn't the only battle that was waged within the household. There was a snowball fight that was also had during the wintertime because it snowed enough that there was enough snow to make snowballs with. Then there was also an orange fight. Someone at some point bought a whole bunch of little like clementines, and I don't know who started it, but we were engaging each other with fistful of fruits and eating them at each other across the halls and whatnot. It was a good time. It's a good time. It's also a good time. And then there were all the movie nights that we had. Zombieland was a particular favorite of ours. We'd always go to this one restaurant. Last night that we were there, me, Balak, and another friend of ours, not one previously mentioned, we went to this restaurant, and we would typically use our flex dollars, which are like school allotted cash, on our student ID cards to purchase food and shit from this place. And because it was our last night on campus, we decided, hey, you know what? Since we're not going to be using this money anymore, since there's no guarantee that we'll get it back from the school due to the fact that, hey, they're kicking us off and it's kind of sketchy right now, we ended up just using all of our flex dollars for the meal. And then, well, we used the flex dollars for the meal to pay for the meal. And then in the tip margin, we put the difference that each of us had for what was left on our account. So at the end of the night, the waiter got like a $600 tip. I can't remember exactly the number, but it was up there in the several hundreds of dollars. So I think we made that waiter cry, because as we were walking out of the restaurant, we saw him on our way back, and he looked very red-eyed. He's coming out of the bathroom. So I don't feel bad about that. But that was the very last night that we were on campus. Yeah. Anyway. So Balak, my bad. So Balak wasn't there for the graduation, unfortunately. So a lot of the closure that I might have gotten from this weekend, I don't feel like I got. Of course, my family was there. It was a great time. My cousin, who I graduated with, who I went to school with, we were both in the same class. We both had like the very same experience, basically. His friends all showed up. They were all there. It was all a great time for them. But then, you know, I don't know. I walked the stage. I sat down in those rows and I waited for them to call my name. It started raining, by the way, in the middle, which is why the hat looks so warped, because it was keeping me dry. But yeah, that's life, right? Just the cherry on top of my 2020 experience. It is what it is. Ain't no use fretting about it. But yeah, that's why I brought this out, because I'm like, talking point, right? Yeah, whatever closure that I probably would have gotten, I don't feel like I got. And that's fine. That chapter of my life is closed completely now. Now I only have to go back there as a alumni. And the only recognition that I'll get from the school from this point forward is in the form of a letter in the mail every month begging me for donations. So that's how they do their money. Speaking of money, let's open up the dashboard, because I forgot to do that before we hopped on here. I did everything else in preparation but that. So yeah. Brad Young, I get it, Weebo. It just wasn't right. A little askew. We're talking about the hat. Is it off center? I guess, kind of. I don't know how to fix this. Oh, I fixed it. Daniel Fullman says, it must have been weird for Weebo to walk a stage without a pole on it. How dare you, sir? The audacity. The nerve. I've never done anything with a pole in my life, except for maybe a ski pole, but that's very different. Maybe the North Pole also, but nothing else. You can't prove it. Anyway, oh my gosh, these fucking contacts. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Do you understand the struggle? Weebo, were you tempted to decorate your hat? Actually, it's funny that you say that. So right over there, you can see my high school graduation cap, which is decorated. I'll get it. I'm wearing booty shorts though, so no one make fun of me. I gotta fix them. Okay. Don't want to be accused of Twitch thoughterry. Pay no attention to the litter box behind me. Yeah, so I did actually decorate my high school graduation cap. It says, I don't know how to do taxes, but this diploma says I am ready for adult life, in serial killer letters that I got off of several magazines. Several magazines. I'm surprised no one stopped me from doing that, because no one did. And here we are. But yeah, I kept this. I'm probably going to keep this one, but I didn't end up decorating it, unfortunately. I don't know what to do with my graduation robe right now. Maybe I'll keep it for like a skit or something. Yeah. That's what I learned, is that it's always better to have spare costumes just in case you need them, because you never know when inspiration will kick you in the ass. Polly says he will be here soon. So I only have to so I only have to independently entertain the masses by myself for a few more minutes. Hang on. I got you, James Colley. It's just that easy. That is the application process to be a moderator, is to recognize that you do not have a wrench. Actually, you know who also deserves one, because they're always here? Daniel also deserves one. Daniel Fullman, use your robe to be a judge on side quest. Oh gosh. Speaking of which, yes, that's that. The weekend shenanigans is the reason why I was not here for side quest, or why I was not on for side quest. Going to bed?
I'm gonna take a shower and then I'll play it by ear.
Okay. You're supposed to catch it. That's one way to catch it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I wasn't there on Friday, which means that I will be there on Monday and Friday of this week. And then there are a few other weekends coming up that I'm going to have to switch out with other users, or with other SideQuest host members, because I have a lot coming up in the summer. All right. So let me walk you through my calendar, my social calendar for the foreseeable future. Thanks for that view, dear. Luscious. Delicious. Good. Mama likes. Let's see. So this upcoming Friday, I will be on side quest. The Friday after that, actually, it's going to be my cousin's graduation party. My other cousins. God damn it. So I'm going to have to switch again on the 18th. And then I should be good until that Friday, the 16th of July, and the 23rd. I'm going to have to switch the 16th and the 23rd. If only I was at college, then I would have a fantastic excuse with which to get out of social obligations. It's fine. Why isn't this? All right. For whatever reason, the show plus button is not going away for you, Daniel Fullman. So you're just going to have to live with that, I guess. Yeah, he is late and fabulously gay. Wait. No. Did you? You just fart at me and then blow it at me?
Yeah.
Fuck you. I love you, but fuck you. May the rats ejaculate upon you.
It's like a fart out of my ass.
I literally just did that. Isn't there a tradition of moving the tassel from one side to the other during graduation? Yes, at the very end when you go and you graduate, after you've walked the stage, after everything has happened, you take the tassel from the right and you put it on the left. So your left, my right. There we go. I didn't realize that until, well, I figured it was this side, and then it was this side. And then the president just confirmed it when she's like, okay, so take your tassels and move them from the right to the left. And I go, I'm glad we settled this business once and for all. Yes, James Colley, he farted in my general direction. That is my boyfriend. And to make it worse, he was completely naked while he did that. So I want you to know that anytime I look off camera, more often than not, is because our boyfriendo is like mooning me or helicoptering me or something of that nature. This time, he was farting at me. That is the love of my life. That is who I have chosen to spend the rest of my life with. That is the man that I have decided will help me bear offspring. I still make smart decisions despite that. How is Valentine doing? Is Valentine all better? Asked Daniel Pullman. I don't know. Let's ask her. Valentine! Come here. You want to come here? Yes, you want to come here? Come on, baby. Come here, my love. Ah. Oh, hello, baby. Hello, my sweet girl. Yeah, she's doing better. She's doing fine. Her vagina surgery was a success. And, you know, she's as chipper as usual. Come here. You're giving everyone your booty hole in the audience. You can sit on my lap. Okay? And I'll give you love it. She's adorable. She's a good girl. She and Meowschwitz are actually starting to interact more on a more playful level, which means that either she or she will instigate the fighting, and then they'll chase each other around, and then they'll just kind of bat at each other in the face, and then they'll go on their separate ways and do whatever. Hi, Meowschwitz. Hello, baby. But yeah, she's doing better. Her eye isn't completely cleared up yet. That's fine. It doesn't need to be clear. I don't need a perfect cat. I lived for 16 years with a cat with no tail. This is a walk in the park, actually. Actually, I'd prefer if you didn't have a tail because it gets in my fucking face all the time. You see this thing? This thing is long. It's a python size. And it gets in my way all the time. She is a very... Okay, here's the thing that I noticed about the cats. They really like being with us. You see what I've done? You see what you did? The cats, they like to be with us. So I go into one room, I get followed by either one or both cats. Usually it's just Valentine, but sometimes Meowschwitz will give me the time of day. And on those days, usually she'll sit in my lap and then take up space while Valentine is just super jealous right next to me. I get a lot of loving from the cats. They like me for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I feed them and clean their litter boxes and give them pets and love. Sometimes food that isn't kitty food. Yeah, she's good. Okay. You lay down. Lay down. Lay down. She's a good girl. And she also responds to her name too. Like, it's only been since February that we've had her, and she responds to her name. She responds to the she responds to the I'm trying to get her to respond to the whistle like Cole used to. Did you just notice? Okay, no, she's just preoccupied with getting my attention. Yeah, it's okay. Come here. Say hi to the people, Bubba. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but she is purring like a kitten. Give the people... Oh, she's a struggler. She doesn't like to be held. Here's the thing. She likes to be on the lap, but she does not like to be held or picked up. I guess picked up is the word that I would use. All right, I'm going to go put you back because your claws are starting to come out. Woman. I can't escape. I just put you down. Here. Lay down. Lay down here. Lay down. Was it a good commencement speech? Short and sweet? It was all right. Could have been shorter. Honestly. I didn't need all the verbose adjectives and a rehashing of the last 15 months that we had. Because, hi, hello, yes, I lived it. We all did. We were all there. Can we get with it? And here's the thing, too. You know what pissed me off? Was not just the student representative that they had up there, and not just the president, and not just the commencement speaker. Like, all three of these women, because they were all women, all three of them spent more time talking about our struggles in the last 15 months than they did about the previous 3.5 years that we'd had before those 15 months. And I'm just like, our college experience didn't just begin with COVID. We had a whole 3.5 years of participation that we're not even accounting for here. Did we just forget that? I don't know. It pissed me off because I'm like, the best years of my college experience were not the 15 months after we had been kicked off of campus, believe it or not. You assholes. Yeah, no. They had to bring up COVID, and of course they also had to bring up the race relations in the United States, and of course, everything else under the sun, the election, et cetera, et cetera. It's just... that was frustrating. This hat does not want to stay on straight, does it? It's your fault, Valentine. Yeah, that was irritating. But it is what it is. Oh, my eyeballs. So this makeup is left over from the morning. It's starting to irritate me. Actually, no, I think that's the contacts that are starting to irritate me. Hey, don't eat that. Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Nope, put it down. I need those. Don't eat those. Go lay down. Oh my God, she actually listens to me. She actually listened to me. Holy shit. All right. I must be some sort of, queen. Long lost cat Madonna or whatever. I don't know. Your hat looks like a good place to take a nap. No, it doesn't. It's not very comfortable. The smoking rat. Sounds like they were way too focused on the now instead of the entirety of their college education. Yeah, that was kind of disheartening. Like I said, I didn't want to focus on the last 15 months of COVID shenanigans. That's not what I came here to do. Oh, and now they're fighting over El Boyfriendo's burger wrapper. Beautiful. Might have to break up a cat fight here later. They said something great. If you want a cat to sit, gently pinch the hips by the base of the tail. Good to know. I'll use that someday. James Colley says, oh, let's make Valentine Jinx's arch nemesis. Jinx's. Oh, you mean, my other co-host's dog. Not my other co-host's dog. My long-lost co-host. Because remember, I've had a number of co-hosts over the years, and 2 of them have had dogs named Jinx. So I think we're talking about, because I initially thought it was SDA that you were talking about. But no, you're talking about Magog, right? Pretty sure. Stop eating that. I wish your father would throw things away. But no, that would be asking too much. Anyway. Yeah. So graduation was kind of the mostly because none of my friends were there for it. And then we had to leave right after because, one, we wanted to get home because Chicago traffic is a bitch. I don't know if you guys know this, but it is a bitch. And then on top of that, oh gosh. On top of that, we have work in the morning, so we have to go to bed early. And also I had this show, so I had to be here, home, early. Plus. Ooh, and this is the thing that I'm super hyped to discuss. I had to get back so I could script a video. We'll talk about that later because I have exciting stuff going on. I'm super hyped about it. I don't know. I feel like and I've said this before, haven't I? I feel like I've got my groove back for at least this video. I've had the time to invest in research and putting together all the evidence that I could possibly need for this video. And it's coming together quite smoothly. And I actually have a solid beginning, middle, and end that I feel comfortable with putting out there. So it's worth my time. It's a good time. Okay, before we get into that and before Polly gets back, let's answer some of the questions here. Pete Hunt says, thanks, Weebo. It is what it is. My brother saying, made me smile whilst listening to your story. It's nice to hear it being said. Well, it is what it is. You know, there are things that you can control in life, and then there are things that you can't control. And the one thing that I have to keep telling myself is not to fret over the things that you can't control. So it is what it is. It's kind of like an inner mantra for me to remember, yo, Weebo, you shouldn't get stressed about the things that you cannot physically adjust yourself. And I am prone to do that because, I don't know, I get stressed very easily. Not very easily. I just have a lot to stress about. That's better. You know. It takes a lot to stress me out, but often I find myself more often than not in states where I have enough on my plate to stress me out to that point. Like, I just got back from the nutritionist and she tells me that my cortisol levels are higher than they should be. In fact, they are abnormally high and that we need to work on this. So hopefully we can get that corrected through eating right, lifestyle changes, relaxing more, and doing the things that I love, getting back to the stuff that makes me happy. And video editing is one of those things. The making of the content has always brought me such joy. Daniel Pullman asks, how would you have done the commencement speech? Serious? Funny? Oh, absolutely. I would have pulled out all of the jokes that I could have possibly ever. Oh, hello, OBS. How are
I
you?
am OBS. This is the voice of OBS speaking.
Hello, OBS.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. Did you... Okay, so go to your camera mic settings. In camera. Oh. You just disconnected all of your stuff. I'm gonna need you to reconnect your mic before we can have another conversation here, Polly. But yeah, I would have made the commencement address quite a bit more funny.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
You're
Vacation
back.
otter. Okay.
Your vacation otter. Where's the scholar otter? You gotta match me.
I'll make one right now. No, it's interesting. I don't have a scholar otter. It's a fair point.
Holly, this is unacceptable.
Well, I'm working on it.
Okay, good.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I congratulated you like 6 months ago, but commencement, you know.
Well, actually, it would have been 12 or 13 months ago.
Stop reminding me how fast time goes.
It's been 15 months since I got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, you were so much younger then. You were so less cynical, full of life. You've become this hollow shell of your former self. It's
real life hit me real quick, I'll tell you. In that time, since then, I have moved twice.
Uh-huh.
I have changed jobs. No, I have had 3 different jobs, not including side quests, not including YouTube.
Those aren't jobs.
They were what I relied on for income all throughout
What just
college.
stuck to my finger?
I don't know. What just stuck to your finger?
Oh. The piece of Chinesium on the bottom of my cheap keyboard came off.
Well, get a more expensive keyboard.
Yeah,
you won't have that problem anymore.
Right over there, it's plugged in. My new keyboard.
I'm not worth the expensive keyboard. I'm only worth the cheap keyboard. Is that it? Is that
it was closer, and you know what?
Oh, convenience. I see how it is.
You're only worth my laziest, most convenient efforts. That's right.
It's okay. For the amount of effort that I put into this stream, I feel like it's only fair.
All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right.
This hat won't stay on straight.
Yeah, I still have mine. Only because my mom insisted I keep it. I only went to my graduation because my mom insisted I go.
Well, of course.
Right.
Did you decorate your cap? Are you that basic of a bitch?
No, because when the decorations were overly ornate as was. Because like the grad students with the department, they put you in all the colors and stuff and the sashes and all that jazz. And if you graduated with honors, there's like an additional sash. And it's like, I was walking, man, it looked like a fucking clown show with all the fucking people walking across the stage. It was kind of ridiculous.
Well, it's funny that you say that actually, because yes, we get the accommodations, like the recognition of the sash and the whatnot. Like every Greek house has one, and then every club has one, and some of the majors have one. But there were people I heard, I didn't get all the sashes that I was supposed to get. Like I didn't get my computer science tassels. I didn't get my psychology tassels. I only got my Eta Sigma Phi tassels, which is the Classics Honor Fraternity, because I am that much of a history nerd that I went out and I joined a Classics fraternity about it. Oh, the initiation is such a gay time too. But
you drink ouzo and have a Roman style orgy. It's great.
Yeah, totally, 100%. That's exactly how that goes. Freshmen beware. No, but like people apparently went out and bought their own tassels off Amazon.
Okay.
Just to have them. So there were people out there with like 6 to 7 tassels around their neck, and they're like, "Yeah, no, I just bought them off Amazon to have them." And I'm like, "Why didn't I think of that? God damn it!"
I can't find my otters. Oh, there they are.
I'm sorry. That
Yeah, I
sounds
know.
like
Sorry,
a
just thinking out loud here.
problem.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
James Colley asked a question that I want to get to before we get off the subject here. It's when are you and Polly going to debate the topics on Twitter that you posted a few weeks back?
Oh God.
8 question marks.
You're right. You're right. You're right. I don't know.
Which otter should be Scholar Otter?
Let me go to
Oh, I
the
know.
account.
I know. This one will be great for it.
Home profile. There we go. That's how I get to my profile. Okay. All right. I see how it is. Okay.
You see what is what?
I see how it is. Okay, so I'm looking at the topics, and I'm thinking we should just take a collection of each topic and go with the random topic generator, based off and fill it with all of these suggestions, and then randomly select who gets what side.
Now, you are Weebo XLS Jones, so you already have these in a spreadsheet, am I correct?
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
I have other spreadsheets that take precedence, Polly.
Do you have a spreadsheet that organizes the precedence of your spreadsheets?
No, I don't. All
No.
right?
Do you have do you have MS Excel on your phone?
No, I don't. I use
Really?
Google Sheets.
Ugh.
I know. But it's because, okay, so the reason why is because I can go between all of my devices on the Google Sheets and update them accordingly whenever I want. So
What in the fuck?
I don't know if I can do that with Microsoft. Also,
Oh, no, not you. I was doing something else here. Why did a bunch of... Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Good to hear. Glad to hear it.
I was extremely weird what just happened. I was doing something here on my computer and everything went haywire. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. You were saying your Google Sheets, multi-device modularity.
Yeah. So I like the ability to go between devices and use the spreadsheets without impediment.
Impediment. There you go. You're missing a fucking syllable here. That's okay. It's fine.
No,
You're
I said impediment. I said impediment.
No, you didn't.
You just didn't hear it because the mic didn't pick it up. I swear to God, I did. I swear on the life of my cats, I did.
You were about to say children and realized you had none.
Those are my fur babies, though.
Oh, don't. That's just the worst saying that women come up with, man. It's just...
True, though.
Ugh.
They're my practice children.
Well, congratulations for coming up with the number 2 creepiest way of describing a pet.
I don't nurse them myself.
Well, thank fucking God.
I'll just bitch slap them with a piece of ham every once in a while and call it a day.
I get your joke. That's an inside reference. That's a cat smack. Which we could do here if you used OBS.
I know. I'm sorry. This is just so much easier to set up.
You know what? I don't understand this. Okay, so Eve and I were talking. Chaos Eve and I were talking the other day.
Okay, you were talking with Eve.
Right.
And
we were talking about you.
Me?
And yes, you.
Moi?
Uh-huh.
All good things, I hope.
Well, something was probably said that was good. I don't recall it, though. We were talking about your degree of work ethic and fastidiousness. And what?
What?
Now you just suddenly looked worried.
I am worried. Continue.
but with every and I said it's so true. We're talking blah, 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 coming up with examples of it. Wasn't it funny the time she took this thing this far that it wasn't necessary to do? And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, except for fucking cocktail hour, where she just refuses to do anything with StreamYards. Like, she will spend a year and a half evaluating men from the MCU. But it's like, I'm just lazy. I don't want to do it. Like, and it's like, it's me, isn't it? It's me. You're reserving this level of laziness because I'm here.
No, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
No, okay. So I will say this: the time that we've had cocktail hours also intersected with a lot of time that I don't have a lot of time. Because like, think about it. Last 15 months, I've not just been working on 2 theses or a theses and then graduating and stuff. I've also been getting jobs. What?
Theses.
Thesis.
I love how you pluralize the plural word. I've never heard anyone do that before. Theses.
What can I say?
It's like you said octopiuses.
Octopi. Thank you very much. No, but like, I've had a lot of things come up in the last year, and I didn't realize. Okay, here's the thing, Polly. Living away at college opens up the door for a lot of shit because I was in walking distance of literally everything that I could possibly want to do except for family social obligations. And I'd forgotten while at college that those took up a lot of time.
Amen, sister.
Oh my God. I have so much family and not enough time to see them all. Like, my mother always wants to do something. My dad wants me to come over and see his new RV. My sister wants to hang out with me. My cousins, they have a graduation party, and then there's a wedding that's going on, and I gotta be gone for a week because the wedding's a destination wedding, and then they're having a reception when we come home, and then there's another wedding on my other uncle's side, and he's got a bridal shower that I have a bridal shower that I have to go. It's just a whole bunch of
chat. I got it. What would you do if you were as popular as Weebo? How would you handle it?
They're all family, though.
I mean,
they have no choice but to invite me.
If you had this level of demand on your time because of your electric personality and
electric personality,
it's positively incandescent.
Sorry.
Hold on, I'm working on Scholar Otter here. It's okay. Almost done. Good.
But it's just, it gets to a point where I wish that I was back away at college just so I could have more me time.
And drink without it being alcoholism?
Well, that, but also, no, it was a lot easier to be antisocial at college.
Yeah, I hear you there. That was yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the advantages of being a permanent student, right? You can always
just be like, I have a paper due. I have to study and stuff.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
There, Weebo.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever takes the work that you're doing, even if you're getting paid for it, if it's related to anything scholastic, as seriously as they will a job. It's like, I got a lot of work to do. And they're like, well, can you just like do it later, like set it off or whatever? Like, that's always the thing, especially with girlfriends or lady friends or someone you're dating or whatever. There's like, well, can you just do it later? Like, now, if you have to go to work, you say, I got to go to work. People will just say, oh, you got to go to work. They just accept it. But work related to, like I said, anything academic or school, like I said, even if you're getting paid for it, doesn't matter. It's just a reality.
I don't know. I've never had that experience in college. Because one of the things that my dad was always big on, and he was always the biggest, like, the bull moose in my life.
The bull moose.
That, okay, we'll get to that. But yeah, like the head of the family.
The patriarch.
Well, he is the patriarch, but it's also my grandmother. His mother is the matriarch. Now, in our individual little pod of familia, my dad always emphasized the importance of 1, first, your health, 2, your education. Everything else is 3rd.
Gotcha.
So school was important in the fact that he was paying for my education meant that he understood the value of the time that I spent on my education. So if like a social thing came up, but I wanted to study, he would understand that. Or if like, there was a family thing, but I needed to do homework or do literally anything that had to do with school, he'd always be like, Weebo, so they understand? School first.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and Dad's opinion was the only one that ever really mattered regarding that. And a boyfriend was the same way. He's understood the fact that, yeah, school is important because, yeah. But I never had that feeling where people didn't take academia, like, seriously when it came to me. My entire life, it was drilled into me, like, school first, school first, school first. To the point where I actually feel like I probably overemphasize the importance of scholastic achievement in my life. I didn't do a lot in terms of anything else social wise in high school either.
I mean, I took it seriously, but there was only hold on, here's doing a little bit of a drop shadow.
Like Brandon Young's thing that he said: God, man, family, horse, then woman. The horse comes
in the
before
correct
the
and
woman.
proper order. What? I don't understand. What?
Where do the guns fit in? I'm just curious.
What's Dean Martin's song?
I don't know.
I'm with my three best friends: my horse, my pony, and me, or my gun, my pony, and me.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's from Rio Bravo. It's a song that Dean Martin sings in Rio Bravo. I've got my three best friends: my gun, my pony, and me.
Nice.
A woman wouldn't get it. It's fine.
I see. Zombie Teddy says Weebo is Asian. Actually, you make that joke, but my dad is the original Tiger Mom. I swear to God, I kid you not. Like, between an hour of violin practice and then however many hours it took for me to finish my homework and study for the next test and all the other extracurriculars that I was involved with, your girl Weebo was a very high academic and extracurricular standing, I will say.
Is this going to...
Like, I wasn't allowed to get anything less than a B minus. And even a B minus was borderline unacceptable. A C was just abysmal, and anything below that was just... Hey, babe, can you turn off my alarm? Danka. Yeah, so A's and B's were acceptable, but even anything that was approaching a C. No. We have to get that under control. Thank you, dear.
What was your GPA? Your graduating GPA?
Oh, God. I think it was like a 3.2.
Wait.
Yes, I know.
How do you explain you weren't allowed, but...
Well, that was in high school.
Ah.
It was unacceptable too, but I had valid reasons for why. And I think we talked about this before with the professors. My dad was very understanding when it got to college about professors that were absolute ass. Because I'm not a bad student. I've proven that time and time again by academically achieving. But there are certain professors that
go ahead.
Have a tendency to sabotage their students. And I have told you about this before, right? With the professors that gave me D's because we didn't agree stylistically on the way he taught.
There you go. Scholar Otter.
Hang on. How do I There you go. Look at that. Beautiful.
See? Sitting there, books in the background in his easy chair, glass of cognac.
I'm so proud.
Graduation cap on. Being an adorable Otter. Yay.
Weebo Jones Cavalry saying, horse saddle, rifle, man. I can dig it. I'm going to finish off this bottle of wine. It's only 500 milliliters, but that's enough to get me.
It's a 500 ml bottle?
Yep.
They make those?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's like a little shorty. That's cool.
Yeah. It's not a full size, but this is probably enough to get me super tipsy. I'm a lush.
You know, I think women, personally, drink wine rather than beer, like just because like, it's just really high alcohol content. Like, I mean, you know, it's up there. Like, what is
yes.
Yeah, it's like 12, 13, 14, 15%. It's like, I'm not drinking beer. I need 12+%.
Well, that and also beer has a lot of carbs in it, whereas wine, I don't know what's in wine. Wine versus beer. I'm going to look this up now. I'm curious.
Depends on the wine and beer, I would imagine.
Nutritional content. Well, okay, so like I can't drink a lot of beer because one, I stop liking the taste after a while. Unless it's not like a normal beer. It tastes kind of bland. But also it's very bubbly, so it fills me up a lot quicker. And I can't pack a whole lot of beer in compared to wine. Plus, it doesn't take effect as swiftly as the wine does, or as long as the wine does.
Let's check something out. I am curious about the caloric value of a zero dosage champagne. Champagne.
So, in terms of minerals, we're going to do this. We're going to have a whole comparison of beer versus wine. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, here are some infographics for the people. In terms of potassium content, wine has 99 milligrams, whereas beer has 27. Or maybe this is just to tell you. I think this is just an example, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So in terms of mineral composition, let me zoom in on this so that the people can see. Wine contains more iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, copper, zinc, and phosphorus, whereas beer just contains less sodium. Which actually, believe it or not, unless you're told specifically to stay away from sodium, sodium's good for you. Like, you need sodium. You need that sodium in your life, boy.
Word.
Continuing. In terms of vitamin content, beer contains more vitamin B3, B5, B12, and folate, whereas wine contains more vitamin B6. They're equal in B1, B2, and B5. I don't know what this is like. It's supposed to be.
Oh God! You see, here it is, Weebo.
What?
You can. I can up your class here. You're into the bubblies, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, check this out. Have you ever heard of a zero dosage extra brut?
No.
No. So when they're making the champagne, any method traditional wine actually, or any method champenois wine, there's two fermentations. The first one to create the alcohol, the second one to create the carbonation. Once the carbonation has been created, and as we all know, yeast makes carbonation and alcohol by eating sugar and producing CO2 and alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And they use different breeds, different strains rather of yeast, one that creates more carbonation, one that creates more alcohol in the two different stages. Once they've done the second stage to make it bubbly, well, the yeast is eating all the sugar to produce the bubbly. So it's a very, very dry wine because on one end of the scale is dry and on the other end of the scale is sweet, right? So it's an extremely dry wine. So they add a dose or dosage, because they're French, a dosage of sugar. It's a short squirt of high sugar concentrate wine to sweeten it back up until you get this range of champagnes. The most common one is brut, just means strong, right? The sweetest is sec, and then it just means sweet, and then demi-sec, which is semi-sweet, brut, extra brut, and zero dosage. Zero dosage means there's no dosage. They haven't added any sugar to it at all. So after all that bullshit in background, here's the way that it goes. Extra brut wine will typically contain less than 6 grams of sugar per liter, zero dosage, less than 3 grams of sugar per liter. However, for comparison's sake, most of the well-known Prosecco brands on the market contain between 15 to 20 grams of sugar per liter.
Really?
Yeah. So you can be up on some, I drink my extra brut because I'm classy like that, and I drink my bubbly, and really you're doing it because it's like super low calories, but you get to be all like snooty and fancy and bougie about it.
I do like Prosecco. My family has a tendency to do breakfast mimosas whenever we get together in the mornings.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I started off the day not with coffee, but with a breakfast mimosa. In the Roach Motel.
I can tell you a secret. Don't, if you like Prosecco, more power to you. Go with God. Have a good time.
Okay.
But if you want to try something that's less sweet, and as Brandon Young quite accurately points out here in chat, pinpoint carbonation, the tiniest little bubbles, that's what you want. Traditional made champagne, it's fermented in bottle, and you'll get these tiny little pinpoint bubbles, and it stays carbonated for like fucking ever. Prosecco, on the other hand, is made in a giant vat. It's not fermented individually per bottle. It's fermented, or it's carbonated the same way 7-Up and Sprite are carbonated.
Ooh.
Artificially. And the bubbles are big and huge like they are in Sprite or 7-Up or Coca-Cola or whatever, because it's added in afterwards. So do you have to buy champagne from Champagne, France and pay the extra money for it? No, you don't. You can buy Spanish cava because they age it in caves. Cava, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's cheap as shit. It's method traditional. It's delicious. It's absolutely the same quality level as Prosecco. You're going to find one that you like. Cava, baby. Or if you want to be domestic about it, there's all sorts of method traditional, like bottle fermented American white sparkling wines. All kinds of French champagne companies that have started them over here. Now, my personal favorite is Roederer Estate. Roederers, who makes Cristal. And that company came and set up a winery in California. It's identical to the champagne that they make in France, except it's using California-grown grapes instead of France-grown grapes. And it's like, what, $15 a bottle? $15 a bottle? Like, that's a win, man.
A drink. All right, I will look into this. Because, we just get the Prosecco because it's available pretty much everywhere, and it's easy to get. And
sure. I mean, if you
I don't feel bad about mixing with OJ.
Yeah, but when you're only paying $12 for a bottle of cava or $15 for method traditional, method champagne Californian, you don't need to feel bad either. And you can actually, put a stopper in it, put it in the fridge, and it's going to hold its carbonation, not forever, but for a hell of a lot longer. Prosecco will.
Good to know. Good to know. I like this. I like learning about alcohol. It helps that I'm wearing the scholar hat.
Yes, it's a learning environment.
Yes. Yeah. You never stop learning.
It's not about my unrepentant alcoholism at all. It's
No, of course not. No. We're scholars of the drink.
I'm a registered sommelier with the Quartermaster Sommeliers in London, England,
I think I knew that.
Yeah.
I think you said something about that to me once.
First level, not a master sommelier. Some people consider the because there's 3 states. There's sommelier, and then apprentice sommelier, and then master sommelier. And then some people think the word just means master sommelier. It's like, come on, man, there's only like 500 of them in the world. It's like you're thinking of master sommeliers, and those people are sad, lonely, depressed alcoholics that have become obsessed with every detail. Blah blah.
How do you spell a sommelier?
Sommelier. SOMM. ELIER, I believe.
You don't even know.
Well, you want me to go pull out my little Bacchus pin that they gave me?
No, you're fine.
SOMMELIER. Yeah, I got it right. Yay.
You did. So how do you become a sommelier?
Well, there's 2 accreditation boards. I forget what the other one is. Like Court of Master Sommeliers is one of them.
Only 8% of test takers pass and become a master sommelier.
Yeah, it's heavy duty. I challenged the exam and passed. I still remember the first question. It was about champagne on the exam. It was it gave you multiple choice of 4, and it said, what is the one grape that cannot be used to make champagne? And the options were Pinot Meunier, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Malbec. And the answer was Malbec. Malbec cannot. It's Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay.
Fun.
And some people, it depends on how you want to look at it. DNA tests have demonstrated that Pinot Meunier is actually a mutation of Pinot Noir. So technically, it's a Pinot Noir grape, but it has a different thickness of skin. So during the maceration process, gives a different blah 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 blah. You don't need to get it.
Ooh. Sorry, I just thought about being a professional sommelier.
it's fun. You can get the study book online and study it, and then go challenge the exam or take the full course, which is kind of expensive. I just challenged the exam and passed, but you got to do the things right. Like you got to pass the flight test, where it's like, like a set of wines in a row. Like if you have like 5 wines in a row, they'll call it a flight of wines, and 2 reds and a white. And you have to be able to correctly identify within 2 percentage points the ABV, the alcohol by volume, by taste, which is pretty easy because you get a sense of heat. You just, how hot is it? You can detect it. When you drink a Zinfandel, oh my God, there's like a hot flame in the back of your throat when compared to something that's like, I don't know, like a Beaujolais, which is more like fruit juice than anything. It's so low in alcohol content. And
I didn't know there was so much about wine that I didn't know. God damn it.
You have to correctly pick the varietal, which they make it easy on you. Like the Malbec is generally one of them, and it's so dark red, it's almost like black. And then when you shake it, you look at what are called the legs and the tears. As the wine, as you swirl the wine in the glass, it'll grip the side of the glass, and then these drops will come down the side. The drop at the bottom is called the tear, and the trail it leaves behind is the leg. How long that stays there and what it looks like, it tells you the oiliness, the thickness, content of it. And then the other thing that they want you to tell is it New World or Old World? Those are the 3 questions. Is what varietal is it? What's its alcohol by volume? And is it New World or Old World? And New World and Old World is easy. Is it fruit forward? It's New World. Is it dry and deadpan? It's Old World.
Oh, wow. Rough. Oopsies, Old World.
And when it's Old World, they're just they just want, when you get up to master sommelier level, they want you to know, really dumb stuff like, is it right bank or left bank Bordeaux? Oh, this is Chateau Le Pin. I mean, I joke because Chateau Le Pin, I think they only make like 50 barrels of wine per year. It's one of the rarest wines in the world just because they make such a small amount of it.
That's a lot of information that I did not know Fuck.
Never lose sight, Weebo. It's fermented grape juice. Never lose sight of the fact. Okay.
But Paula, you don't understand. It's not just fermented grape juice. There's so much more to it now.
I mean, it's fun to go heavy duty with the details, but then you can go into places where, you start losing your mind.
I bet. Like, what was the ethnicity of the lumberjack that chopped down the tree that created this barrel that the wine fermented in?
He was a swarthy Norseman.
I can tell because their sweat is very distinct, and I can feel a little bit of it in the dregs of this wine. God damn it. Yeah, no, when you get that specific, I'm like, God damn, I mean, it's impressive, but also a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Russell Dixon. Sorry. You need to check out Uncle Keg Windstream. You find a lot about wine. You will find a lot about wine and other things. You know what I need to do? I need to go to more wineries in my place of living. Hang on. I want to double check something. Yeah, no, I need to go check out more wineries, honestly. I need to visit them because I need more places to get alcohol from.
One of the things that working where I worked with, the opportunity to pour a lot of blind flights, which is the greatest fun ever if you're willing to do it, which is, you pour bourbons or scotches or, wines or bubblies, whatever. And you don't know what they are. You have someone else pour them and just put we use sticky notes on the bottom of the glasses because our glasses actually had stems, Weebo.
Oh.
I'm just.
Are you calling me out for my
I am. That was me
glass?
calling you out right now. It's fine.
You bastard.
And then taste them blind. And which one do you like? If you're very lucky, it's the cheap one you like the most.
Yeah.
Because people think it's like, oh, well, I'm going to buy the expensive bottle. And this is what we used to joke around is saying you're drinking the label. Drink the wine, not the label.
Yeah. Because I found that more often than not, I'm perfectly satisfied with the cheapest of fucking wines. Like the $5 bottles will get me where I need to go and taste good while doing it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you pour a glass of Cab Sauv from Barefoot, let's say, versus like something like Chateau Montelena, which is one of my favorite California wineries. Their estate Cab Sauv. Oh God, it's fucking liquid ambrosia. The difference will be night and day. You will be able to tell the difference, but within a range I'm talking about, like, let's say the $20 to $50 range for a bottle of red wine. Okay. Yeah, try them. The odds are good that you might end up liking the $20 one more, and you fucking won. You didn't lose. You won.
Yeah. You're a cheap drunk. You're a cheap blush. Thank you to Serpent21 who donated to say, Weebo, as long as you aren't downing Everclear and Quaaludes, I think you'll be okay.
Now I can get Everclear, but thanks to Disco Hopheads, we can't get Quaaludes anymore.
I'm sorry.
Fucking Bill Cosby.
You poor thing.
For those of us who suffer from insomnia, Weebo, it's a sad remembrance that the most effective sleep aid of all time was taken off the pharmaceutical market because a bunch of disco people found out if they resisted the desire to fall asleep, they would become hyperactive and sexually aroused because they had taken way too much.
7 minutes, you want to go watch your show? Or do you want to continue talking to your friends?
I want to continue talking to Polly. I'm on stream. How did you not know that?
Man, I don't fucking know.
Oh my gosh.
I did fall into a room of Opus One by accident. Really? Okay.
Opus One? Is that a wine?
It's a wine thing. Wine group. It just long story.
Okay, so straight up, I need to go find people to drink wine with.
That sounds so fun. I know what you mean, but it sounds funny the way you said it.
Well, like, okay, Polly, if we lived close to each other, I would absolutely make you go to a wine tasting with me every weekend just to spend 2 hours being bougie lushes together over a platter of cheese or whatever. Does that not sound like a good time?
It does. See, I told you.
We are right here, says Brandon Young. What are you?
we're right here. Dan Fullman says polymelatonin. Yeah, melatonin is effective. The thing I found though, it was funny. I just last night or early this morning, really, I was in Discord talking to Inquisitor, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not even tired, but I gotta go. Like, I don't even feel like falling asleep, but I gotta go lay down because I gotta do a whole bunch of stuff today. So I gotta get some kind of sleep." And he said, "Melatonin, man." And I told him, I said, it's fine if I've got a full 7 or 8 hours to dedicate to going to sleep. Melatonin works for me, yeah. But I'm only going to be able to, catch like 4 hours here at the most. And he's like, oh yeah, man, if you can't, and he agreed with me. He said, I'm glad someone else has that too, that if you can't catch the full sleep, you have a melatonin hangover. Because some people that doesn't affect them that way, but it does with me. Where it's
how much melatonin do you usually take for full 8 hours?
What is it? They're 5. No.
Are they 500 milligrams?
No, Jesus Christ, it would kill you. They're like
Okay.
5 or 10 milligrams.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the extra strength are 10. The standard is 5, I believe.
It would kill you. Okay. Sorry.
I don't know if it would kill you, but it'd probably be toxic. Like that's a fucking lot of melatonin. That's like most of the bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, my suggestion is cut the supplement in half and just take the half.
Probably not something you want to say on a live stream, but I found out that taking the anti-anxiety meds and a double shot of bourbon works better.
Oh, all right, cool.
You
know what also works? Taking a Benadryl.
Well, yeah, I know. You know what? Benadryl and alcohol don't mix. I found that out the hard way. I take Benadryl because of the vertigo, because it's an anti-nausea, an anti-nauseant, and but it's got that sedative effect. Like, whew.
Oh, hang on. I'll be right back. I got to show you something because this is pertinent to the conversation we're having about sleep aids.
Ooh, pertinent.
Yeah.
It's possibly germane. So chat, what's going on? What's the deal? Nuke the CCP says you can get 5 and 20 milligram pill. I've never seen 20 milligrams. I think the highest I've ever seen is 10, if I recall correctly. I can't remember.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
So you know how I went to go see the nutritionist?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that she recommended, because I had mentioned that I have a bitch ass of a time falling asleep most nights, she suggested I get me like something like this. It's called inositol powder. It's supposed to support a restful sleep. So you're supposed to take it an hour before you go to bed, mix it with water, chug it. That essentially it's supposed to, I don't know, because I've only been taking it for the last 2 days, but it's supposed to kind of make you more susceptible to falling asleep quicker and easier when you start to mix. She also put me on these these things that help my cortisol levels at night. So I have to take one of those an hour before bed as well. Because I'm super stressed out. And they're all supplements. So
yeah. They're herbals.
Yeah. So they're not like
Sleepy Time tea, the various brands that they sell and try passion flower tea. Brandon Young says, I think someone else said that in chat as well. When you look at like what's in Sleepy Time tea, it's generally the same mixture of tisanes, not actually tea leaves, because there's caffeine in those, obviously. Valerian root, chamomile, and passion flower, and they all work like as an herbal to induce calm and restfulness and so forth. The ingredient, they're in such small amounts though. You know what I mean? You gotta put like 5 bags in a mug, like to actually get the real effect. Like you'd have to be a really a sensitive person to the effects of them for them. I think the effect is more, what do you want, like placebo effect? It's not a placebo. It's psychosomatic, whatever way you want it. You think it's going to help, so it does. Especially if you're winding down and a hot cup of tea does it for you to wind down, then yeah, that's a good way to do it. But no, go to a health food store and get some actual valerian root and make some hardcore tea for yourself. Like for real though, try it.
Yeah, straight up, just drug yourself with hardcore valerian root.
Yeah, and it's sticks, man. It's like it's little twigs, and you just and you got a tea ball.
A tea ball?
It's like a little stainless steel ball.
Oh, yes. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, I have one.
Yeah. You just throw them in there so you don't have, you're not reading your tea leaves or anything. So at least I don't think you are you? You reading tea leaves? You buy into that shit? You read chicken entrails?
You look like I am?
Read your horoscope? No, you don't look like that kind of person.
No. I actually met someone who does tarot card reading last Thursday. Apparently, our neighborhood is haunted by. Oh, our neighborhood is haunted by the dead Indians from like 200 years ago. All of the dead Indians that were massacred 200 years ago in this very area.
Are they mad at the other Indians that most likely killed them?
No, it was. I can't remember who it was, but it was some European settler group of people. But apparently they're so mad to the point where the building over to us has occurrences.
Ooh, occurrences. I like that phrasing. That's good.
Apparently within the last 10 years there was a murder next door, like next door and one up.
Uh-huh.
And then ever since then, or not ever since then, but frequently anyone who is a couple within the building over from us, they always have their issues. And I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Always couples. So they're
Couples.
angry incel ghosts that are upset that people have found a significant other.
I don't know. They have struggles. That's all I know.
Young braves that couldn't find a squall.
Mm-hmm. No, you know me. I don't particularly have a perspective when it comes to anything super spiritual. Mainly because, okay, maybe if I'd actually experienced some sort of ghost phenomena, some paranormal activity in my life, I'd be a little bit more in the believing camp. But right now, I just haven't. I'd love to visit a haunted house to prove myself wrong, but no one wants to go to a haunted house with me.
I love the pout. Did Weebo legitimately just full adult pouted? That was great.
Yeah. You know how many times I practically begged Balak to go with me to any haunted house, and he's like, we do not go there. Because he's super, like he's very Catholic, and anything that has to do with devil worship or demon, or not devil worship, but like demons and sketchy paranormal activity. He's like, no. I'll watch Zach Baggins, but I will not approach.
I'll watch Zach Baggins. My God, that's good. from the safety of a TV screen, right? I love it.
Well, yeah, because everything that Zach Baggins puts into production, we love to make fun of it.
Did it just get cold in here?
Did it just cold? Something touched my hair. Josh, you're bald. We used to watch those episodes in college, and it was a fantastic time. Great time. But I could not convince that boy to go with me to a haunted graveyard to save his life. He was just so sketchy about it.
See, I am a religiously minded person. And it's okay. So last night I'm watching a live stream, right? And somebody asked a question that was very it was off topic. But you know how that is. Like during live stream, somebody will ask something. It's like, God, that's not even what we were fucking talking about. One of the guys on the live stream was Dr. David Wood, or David Wood. He's the guy's so laid back. He just calls himself the Dizzle. It's fine. He's a PhD in philosophy, but he's got a channel now, 600,000 subs, called Act 17 Apologetics. You should absolutely check it out. Man's hilarious. He's a very strong critic of Islam. That's mostly what he does on that channel. Is just in the West we have this sort of, they're a victimized lot and so on and so forth. It's just like exposing Muhammad's a fake prophet, etc. Keeps calling him a 7th century caravan robber, which is an accurate statement. I mean, the guy lived in the 7th century and robbed caravans. What there it is. In any case, well, he's on this live stream and somebody asked him this question about, what do you think about highly detailed theological question about eschatology related to end times? Basically, I won't drag you through the whole technical theology.
Wait, eschatology, like
Eschatology is a theology related to apocalyptic end times. How the soteriology, the theory of salvation of various people and how things are going to end. Okay,
those people, I'm familiar with them. End time peddlers.
Yeah, right. End time peddlers, right? And Wood.
The world's gonna end in this year in 2012 at this time.
He stopped and said. David Wood goes, like, the person he was live streaming with, AP, Apostate Prophet, or said to him, because he's a Ridvan is his name. He goes by Apostate Prophet or AP. He's a critic of Islam because it's like, I was a Muslim. I'm Turkish, lived in Germany for a while, and now I live in America. And holy shit, the stuff that he's put up with, the death threats to him and his family, and David Wood's put up with, like, we're gonna kill your kids and rape your wife and so on and so forth. Lovely. Mm-hmm. And they get, by the way, both of them have been kicked off Twitter. Not the people that threatened to kill them and rape their family and so forth, but them for promoting hate speech by criticizing the Prophet Muhammad.
Interesting.
Yes. It's just welcome to Twitter. But anyway, the point is somebody asked this off-topic question, and it made me really happy the way David Wood answers, because David Wood's a Christian, and he said, I don't think about the end times very much. I don't. And Ridvan, who's an atheist, says, no, not at all. And he goes, no, Jesus wins. So there you go. It's like David Wood is such a deep thinker, and he has such detailed answers for everything, but he just doesn't think about it. And I was, those moments when somebody that you really dig says something that you think, and you're like, fuck yes. Like, because like I said, I'm a religiously minded person. I don't spend any time thinking about the end times, the apocalypse, demons, Satan, none of that. Because it's like, I don't know. I
have a story about this when you're
like
done.
A small town evangelical Christianity or in Islam, shaitan. Every time you have a doubt about Islam, that's Satan whispering in your ear. Stuff like that just really fucking bugs me. It's like you can absolutely go the religious route without constantly worrying about Satan sneaking up behind you or spirits floating around in the room, and like, come on. Like I said, I'm a man who's I'm a theist, a deeply held theist, and I spend no time thinking about that shit. I don't care about it. It's just not of any interest to me. So anyway, sorry, Weebo, you were saying.
I don't either. I don't think about the end times all that much. And that's not just because I'm not spiritually minded, but I just have bigger fish to fry on my plate. But that being said, there was a time back when wee little Weebo was more impressionable and hence religious by default, because that was what she was raised in. Mm-hmm. My mother went through a phase of hyper Christian indoctrination. This was like right after she and my father divorced. She would try to kind of get me and my brother to ascribe to the way that she believed things, but she wasn't very good at it. But one of the things that she did was she would show us movies that pertain to anything biblical or
now I'm going to take a wild guess here. Okay, just sorry to cut you off, but you weren't watching the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston, were you? No, you were watching movies about people disappearing and their clothes being left behind as the tribulation began.
I saw Left Behind. I saw that movie. And I don't remember if it was after we finished the movie or if it was midway through the movie. But my mother straight up told me that's going to happen. And I was super young. Just remember, my parents divorced when I was like 6. So it was between that and when I started going to like middle school Christian school things. Because, they have those for impressionable young teens so that they can understand the Bible at an age appropriate level. But no, my mom, she straight up showed me the movie Left Behind, and then she's like, that's going to happen. Someday, everyone that you know and love is going to go to heaven, and the world is going to end, and things are no longer going to cease to exist. And she made it seem like it was, like, right around the corner, and I was in for it. Like, I was gonna be divined up with my clothes just folded up behind me, and I was gonna leave them behind. And
Your soul doesn't need clothes, Weebo.
sorry, I wasn't aware. And everyone that I loved that wasn't a Christian wasn't gonna come up and ascend with me. And I was so freaked out by that concept. And everything that movie represented as what was going to happen, it wasn't even all that bad, the Left Behind that I saw. But it was so upsetting to me that for a while there, I was like traumatized. And then I stopped being traumatized. I decided, Mom. And no. I asked her point blank. Okay, so after that, I started asking more questions because I'm like, all right, I got to be a Christian now because otherwise I'm going to be left behind, alone, forgotten. No one's going to love me.
No. The people that are left behind aren't necessarily damned.
I'm going to find my mom's clothes folded up somewhere, and I'm not going to know what happened, and it's going to be traumatic. That's what's going to happen. But so I was more invested in my religious studies after that point.
I'm sorry, just as a quick understanding, how old was little Weebo at this time? Because that's all you've said.
God, I think it was like 8 or 9.
Ooh, okay, all right, yeah.
And I very distinctively remember asking my mother this point blank, Mommy, so I'm reading the Bible, and it says that the world was created in 7 days, but there was nothing before that. I just gotta know what happened. Where were the dinosaurs in all of this? Because I'm like, there's no dinosaurs. The Bible mentions nothing about dinosaurs. Noah's Ark does not contain dinosaurs. What happened? I need answers. And her answer was not lackluster. Like she could have bullshitted something for me. But in actuality, what she described to me was essentially this deconstruction of what they meant by a day in the Bible. And that actually a day doesn't mean 24 hours.
A day for God is 1,000 years.
It's actually this whole extended a time period.
Mm-hmm.
And in actuality, like the very first day that God said, let there be light, and there was light, and that was that. It was actually a very, very long stretch of time. Like, there were dinosaurs in that time. The Bible just never mentions them. I'm like,
why wasn't that acceptable? That's fairly reasonable.
Because it didn't make sense in my tiny little pea brain. Because, no, it says 7 days, Mom. And no point in Genesis does it mention anything about dinos, and that was very important for me, the dinosaurs, to make sure that they got mentioned. But no, and she couldn't come up with an acceptable answer, and so I'm just like, I think you're full of shit. Your
mom should have been like the Nephilim. Those are the dinosaurs.
Well, I think so part of that was she was super invested in the Bible and teaching us the Bible, but she wasn't a Bible scholar.
She should have stuck to the New Testament. I mean, seriously though, like the Old Testament, there's a lot of allegory. There's a lot of metaphor and representation and parable. Like Jesus Christ,
yes.
Like intentionally so. Read like the rabbinical scholars, like the rabbis who do it. Like they talk. It's parable and shit, man. Yeah. It's not supposed to be. I remember this conversation I had with Monkey, and that was the first time he ever actually got really mad with me. It seemed like he did anyway. I don't know if he was legitimately angry. He said, well, the Bible says, and he started talking about this historical facts. I said, oh, I see. So you opened the Bible and thought you were reading a history book, and now you're online telling a whole bunch of people this bad of a misunderstanding that you had? Why would you want people to know that you were this misinformed?
Well, when I was
and he was like, it's not supposed to be a history book, except the parts that literally say it's history, like kings, which is the list of kings.
Well, that was my understanding of what the Bible was, is that this is a history. This is what happened. Weebo, this is learn this shit. This is important. This is, believe this shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I took it to heart, and I'm like, okay, I'm reading it. And then I think there's so many questions that come up. I'm like, why? But there were 2 people on Earth at one time, and then the rest of the population followed suit. Does that mean that? And I had this realization, and I'm like,
We're all inbred.
we're all related to each other
Well, we are.
distantly, but
Yeah, I mean, whether
still,
you
it
buy
all
literal Adam and Eve, or you know,
Yeah,
want to
no,
go
I-
more Darwin than Darwin ever was, we're all related. So.
Well, having grown up and embraced the complexities of geneticism and the evolutionary lines and the divergent species shenanigans, I appreciate that fact, but also just I was told, "Hey, take this literally, kid," and so I did, and that was actually the downfall of my belief in anything that had to do with the actual Christian Bible. Now, and then okay, so from that point on, there was the downfall, right? And then I resented so much the fact that my mom was shoving this religious bullcrap down my throat all the time. And so, me being the rebellious middle schooler that I was like, Mom, well, I didn't actually say this because I was too scared to, but I fully embraced the whole atheist perspective at that age. And I was like, Jacqueline Glenn, an amazing atheist, and, you know, the Bible Reloaded and Logic. They're all that was my introduction
Logic,
into the
yeah.
skeptics
Dark Matter
community.
25, the whole
Yeah.
throat. Yeah.
Yep. That
Sure.
was my introduction into the skeptic community. And from there, I actually delved into more political skepticism in high school, and my atheism vigilance kind of waned. And at a certain point, I just stopped caring, and I realize now that I'm just at a point in my life where I don't care. There's probably something super spiritual out there, but who the fuck knows? I don't care enough to be militant about it either way.
Well, I'm a deeply
Cork-
atheist, but I wouldn't call myself
Right.
militant about it.
Well, no. I'm not saying, like, you have a problem with militant atheists. I have a problem with militant atheists now and militant theists of any capacity. Like the ones that blow people up and the ones that send people to gay camps, gay conversion camps.
Brandon Young mentions Principia Mathematica. Interestingly, that came up in a discussion last night when I was talking with Quiz, because the that stream where Islam claims, rather, the standard Sunni and Shiite claim is that the Quran contains all sorts of scientific revelations, that this is proof that it's the literal word of God, the infallible literal word of God, not as the Bible is claimed to be, inspired scripture written by men. It's guided by God, like so there's it's inerrant. And I think there's a critical difference. Like, it's actually an extremely small fringe group of Christianity that argues that the Bible is the literal word of God. Like 99% of Christianity just argues the Bible's inerrant, and all that means is that the message is accurate. Is it down to every dot and tittle literally the word of God? No, it was put together over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's divinely inspired scripture. It's not the literal word of God. Or the Quran, on the other hand, no, that's the literal word of God, and thus all these scientific miracles contained within it, like claiming that the sun sets in a muddy pool of water, and that the earth is flat, and then so on. And
I just had a thought. I am a big fan of theology. Well, not theology, but of mythology specifically. The thing that we appreciate as
mythology is great fun. Greek mythology, especially.
Yeah, ancient religion, but that has since been put into more of an extinct mode. Just something that we kind of look at in museums and be like, "This is what used to be the case," and is not. I don't know I feel like if a lot of the religions of today were introduced to me as mythology was introduced to me, specifically Greek mythology, I would be a lot more intrigued with all of that.
Well, like, I don't see. Here's the problem with that I have with a lot of this is that it's like I don't claim that my perspective is anyone else's perspective. Like, I'm a theist in a strange sort of way. I came to theism through philosophy.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, you believe in God?" No, I accept the existence of God.
Oh.
And it's like, well, what's the difference? I was like, I only believe in what I can touch and feel. And it's like, no, you don't. You believe in all sorts of things you can't touch and feel. Stop lying. Like that's a cute saying, but we know it's not true. We both do. It's like, well, no, I believe in science. Well, that doesn't make any sense because you believe in all sorts of things that aren't scientifically provable one way or another. You believe there's a thing called justice. You believe that there's that unjust occurrences can occur. You believe that there is such a thing as love in the world. You believe there is such, all sorts of things that aren't subjectable to scientific analysis. But they're very, very real. You believe in all sorts of conceptual things that are unextended. They exist. They can't be located temporally nor spatially, like mathematical concepts, but they exist. They have a substance to them, even though they have no, like I said, it can't be located spatially or in space or time. Okay, so there's all sorts of things you believe in that you can't touch or feel. So stop talking shit. These are just cute little sayings that people have learned from Dark Matter 2525 and T.J. Kirk and the whole bunch. They want to stand on the shoulders of brilliant men who came up with ideas, retcon history, and call everyone they liked who came up with something smart a scientist, even though the terms didn't even exist then. That's what Principia Mathematica, when it came up. Isaac Newton was a deeply religious man. Okay, well, what does that say for, well, Isaac Newton was a scientist. He had never heard that word. Like, yeah, the Latin word that it comes from, of course, because he was fluent in Latin. But as you mean the term? No. And he was the furthest thing from a fucking atheist. He was a wildly religious man. And so was Darwin, by the way. I mean, it's you got, that's why I meant when I said more Darwin than Darwin. People have taken Darwin's ideas and run amok with them. I don't know. I don't know. People just have some very, I don't buy into the dichotomy of science versus religion. I don't think it makes much sense. The majority of what people term as science was developed by religious people. Yeah. The largest Catholic or largest Christian denomination in the world is Roman Catholicism, followed by Eastern Orthodoxy, both of which accept the earth is ancient and, both of which accept evolution. So who are you talking about? American evangelical small country church people that argue that dinosaurs and cavemen existed, or dinosaurs and humans, because there were no cavemen, existed at the same time, and the earth is only 5,000 years old? There's not many of those people. Those are fringe wingnuts.
But they're very loud.
Oh my God, they're so loud and they're sensational. It's like, how do we all know what the Westboro Baptist Church is? We all know the name Westboro Baptist Church. There's fucking 40 of them, Weebo.
Yeah. I know. And okay, so I like to liken it back to, the amount of people that we blow up on Twitter as having a specific opinion about stuff that is relatively ridiculous and very Marxist, but they are blown up and ported as, or they're purported. Is that the word?
Purported to say that sort of thing.
Purported to be the mainstream belief, when in fact that's not the case. But because there is the illusion that they are on mainstream media and on, big blow up Twitter threads, because that is the case, people feel pressured to fall in lockstep.
Yeah.
No, I just bring this topic up because we talked about end times, and I'm like, so this is my journey.
Yeah, that's how we got on this. It's
talking about end times.
I don't know. I just honestly, where I come from this place where it's like, I hear people that are religious that say that stuff, and I think, you need to lighten up. I know that sounds like flippant, but that's really the way that I come across. It's like, you can be like a deeply religious person and be all interested in praising God and Jesus is Lord and all of that, and not spend all of your time thinking about the end of the world. I don't understand why people do that.
Well, and not spend all your time thinking about the end of the world or thinking about, the gays, or
right?
thinking about the apostate that needs to be chucked off the side of a building because they don't believe in exactly the person or the religious text that you believe in. I'm just like, it is 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we do not have to have a 16th crusade over whose sky daddy is more impressive or whose religious text thing is more believable. It's okay. But of course, it's all a numbers game with the different religions. Because at the end of the day, it's how can we enhance our following? And the threat of eternal damnation is a very convincing way of bringing people over to your side for some people, apparently.
Well, okay.
The threat of being a horrible person who will be forgotten, of being damned to all hell, whether it be religiously or if we're talking about, wrong think in the political sphere. It's a very effective tool to bring over people to your side, whether or not they genuinely believe it or if they're just going through the motions, because virtue signaling is the best way to get them out of a tight situation. It's up for debate, but yeah.
See, this is something that came up while I was watching that stream last night, because like Apostate Prophet's channel, like he's an atheist, so he has atheists show up, and there's an odd mix of people in chat, and we all know how YouTube chats can be at times. There's people that are there trolling. There's people that are there. There's so many Muslims that show up during Apostate Prophet's streams just to tell him that he's an apostate that's going to burn in hell. And it's like, why do you bother? Like, there's so many things about YouTube chat that I don't get, and I don't think I will ever get. I don't go to streams, like I don't go to TJ Kirk's streams as pathetic of a person as I think he is, and say it over and over again. I don't understand the draw to do that. And it's it's trolling. I'm a troll. No, you're not. You're living out your impotence. You don't feel that you can do anything about it, and you're very angry about it, so you're going to go tantrum in chat. That's not trolling. Like, I think there's people who troll me. Like BG follows me around from stream to stream and trolls the shit out of me, and it's funny because like he's taking clever shots, and it makes me laugh. Some of them are pretty goddamn scathing too, but that's trolling, which is also different than shit posting. But people that show up and are just tantruming at things that they're upset by, and they think it's some kind of I don't know, noble art form. And it's like, no, it's really not. So in this chat yesterday, it occurred to me, you said the Sky Daddy thing, and this is disparaging remarks, right? And it makes me think, is this what we're doing? Is this what we should do? Is this the level we're at? Because we know that atheists online are very adept at doing this. The phrase Sky Daddy, that's one of the favorite go-to statements, right? I
don't use that to be disparaging.
No, I know, but a lot of people do. But a lot of people do.
Yes.
Right. And it's it's like, oh, so this is what we're doing, saying the most absurd, ridiculous, extreme extension of the line that you can. Shut up, worm food, is my response. It's like, what do you mean? Well, that's what you are, right? Worm food. Have you propagated the species yet? Because you believe in evolution. You don't believe there's anything beyond this life. And you think that everybody who believes in a creator deity of any variety is believing in a Sky Daddy, that it's all a childish fairy tale. So that means if you haven't propagated the species yet, you haven't passed on your DNA, you need to get in the ground, worm food, because you are wasting our fucking species resources meaninglessly. We only advance ourselves generationally by adapting to our environment. So either have some kids and and raise them to the point where they're self-sufficient, and then get in the fucking ground. And by the way, make sure you tell your children when you're putting them to bed that they're going to die someday, and possibly and when they die, they're going to blink out of existence, and then worms will crawl through their skull, because that's literally what you believe, right? Be straight up about it. Don't lie to your children. Be honest. It's fairy tales to tell your children about God and Jesus and everything, right? So tell them the truth. Tell them your mommy and daddy could die tonight, and then you're going to be alone in the world, and it doesn't really matter, and nobody cares what you think or feel, and all of your dreams and aspirations and hopes and wishes are all a fucking fantasy, because we're all going to end up just being, eaten by, worms and insects, and become fertilizer for trees, which will then, of course, die, and the cycle will continue on. Everything you think is meaningless in an empty, hopeless universe that created you, and the fact that you can even conceive of these things, is a cosmic accident and a giant joke on you personally.
Sorry, that was amusing to me.
But that is the nihilistic, emo end of that kind of atheistic, nihilistic thinking. It's like, well, I don't have to believe that. So you're actually backpedaling off from the logical end of where you're headed with that kind of, oh, you believe in blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's assuming that they ever get to or approach that line of thinking. I don't think people actually go that distance all of the time. I don't actually think a whole bunch of people consider the end times that are religious either. I think that is a very small sect of people that are that extreme in their thinking to that point.
That's fair enough. I think that's true. Yeah. I don't think either group is really following their things through right all the way to the end.
Of course not. It takes a lot of internal thought about the thing to get to the logical conclusions that you're getting to with one side or the other. Not everyone has the time to invest in theology like that. To invest in their own mortality like that.
Yeah. But I'm single and don't play video games and drink, so, you know.
Yeah, well, you do that. I would like to thank the next 6 minutes for the donation. All the high fives for walking that walk on the stage that wasn't ready to feel the funk in those steps as your girl Weebo walked the funkiest of walk and walks. So much funk, all that funk. High fives for that funk. Anyhow, sub to Weebo.
Yes, I'm also funk. I legitimately am. I liked hearing funk that much in one.
Funk.
Yeah, man. Serpent21, thank you for the $1. P-dubs, you can get allergy pills at Walmart for $4 for 100 pills. They will help you get nice and drowsy within an hour or so. Oh yeah, that's I bought the Benadryl 750 pill pack at Costco.
Ooh.
But that was mostly for the
Wait, you have a Costco membership?
No, but my friend does.
Oh, I need to find a friend with a Costco membership.
Yeah. I do call and bug him. It's like, you going to Costco this weekend? I need 18 liters of cranberry juice. You know,
don't ask questions, just drive.
Right? They got that big, 8-gallon container with a double fisted handle on it. I need that. Thank you very much, Serpent21. This next 6 minutes. Thank you for the donation. Adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. Knowledge will give you power, but character respect. As you think, so shall you become. Bruce Lee, sub to Polly. I love the thought that Six puts into his donation.
I know
words.
There's a reason why he is my longest internet friend. By the way, he just hit 200 subs on his channel. Guys, go sub to the next 6 minutes. I believe he's in chat somewhere. 60, make yourself known to the people. Let's get him more in the way of the people with the subs and stuff. Wow, this is really fucking me up. Polly!
Yeah.
Alcohol, 13.5 by volume.
Ooh, that's up there. That's good stuff.
It's only 500 milliliters.
We've had the martini discussion, right? You're.
I've never actually had a martini, but
really,
what was the martini discussion?
Just that, just like talking about martinis. Do you like them? If so, what kind? That sort of thing.
No, I've not had a martini in my life.
No,
unfortunately.
Do you like gin? Do you like vodka?
I don't like gin. I do like vodka.
Okay, I'm a bigger fan of the vodka martini than the gin martini, although I do like gin. You've never had like a gin and OJ or a gin and cranberry and dug it? No?
I had a gin and tonic this weekend for the first time ever, and I did not like it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is actually depressing for me because that is literally the drink that is like, okay, so you know how people have like signature drinks?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my family's signature drink. Gin and tonics are a staple of the Jones household. My grandfather.
What was it? Too bitter? Was it what stood out?
I think it was the gin, the taste of the gin. I think it was the pre-limed gin too. I'm not a big fan of limes.
Did it taste like pine, like a household cleaner to you?
Maybe a little bit.
Because there's obviously there's a bunch of different gins out there. There's London Dry Gin that's like, like really cheap shit that, it does taste like pine cleaner. Because it's, what's the, fuck, I forget the name of the botanical that gives that really strong.
It was a handle of gin that had lime already in it. If I
Jesus Christ, it was pre-mixed.
No, it wasn't pre-mixed, but
Okay.
it had it was lime flavored.
Okay.
Gin. You know how you have like chocolate flavored vodka? Similar thought process. If I saw a picture of it, I would know it instantly.
See, Brandon Young mentions Bombay. I'm willing to bet that if you tried a Bombay Sapphire, which is really smooth and gentle, it's got like 18 different botanicals that make up its flavor. It's floral. It's not pine solvent. You know what I mean? It's that with a good tonic by Schweppes or whatever, with a squeeze of an actual lime, like an actual citrus fruit in it. That might change. You might dig it.
Maybe. I don't know. Because I've had Tanqueray before.
That's potent shit. Unless you're talking about like Tank 10.
But
it was like the higher end version of Tanqueray number 10, Tank 10.
No, it was the green stuff.
The round green bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like 5 and it was a traumatic experience.
You were 5. You drank Tanqueray and didn't like it? I'm shocked.
Well, no, I didn't just drink the Tanqueray. It was so my grandmother, she used to have these like water bottles. And I thought that she put water in them. And so naturally I thought, hey, Nana, I'm gonna have some of your water. And I take this big old gulp at 5 years of age of her water bottle. And to my surprise, it was not water. So I quickly released it back into the straw and went on my merry way. And no one was the wiser. It was disgusting.
That's a hell of a story.
It was. And that was the first time I ever had any alcohol in my entire life. It was not a fun experience for me. No, I can't find the brand of gin that I'm thinking of. This is upsetting.
Pre-limed gin. I love that you said that.
I didn't like the gin and tonic this weekend. Maybe if I got a gin and tonic that had different gin in it, I'd be good. Because I don't have a problem with tonic water. I don't have a problem with, well, I have a slight problem with limes, but it's...
I was amazed when I looked at the sugar content of tonic soda, tonic water. Holy shit, is it chock full of sugar. It's just got so much quinine, whatever the hell in it to make it bitter that it doesn't seem that sweet. But yeah, man, it's up there. Oof.
Polly, we're at 9:08.
It's that time.
It's that time.
Yeah, actually, I would be interested in your martini recipe or your margarita recipe. Martinis. I got martinis on the brain.
A margarita.
6. I would be a nice like salt rimmed martini, or even the frozen lime variety, because I'm a big fan of Slurpees. Yeah, margaritas can be a big win. I know some people drink tequila straight, and I think they're a little crazy.
I only ever do tequila shots if I'm drinking tequila straight.
Yeah, man. Tequila shots, salt and lime. People say that that's like low-class college shit. And it's like, yeah, but I'm a low-class college guy. So Yeah.
We were doing tequila shots this weekend. Tequila and Fireball.
Really? Fireball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal with the cinnamon. It's cool.
It wasn't bad. I had a Bacardi and Coke to chase it, so... I'm a basic bitch. Okay, so it's pumpkining time.
Basic bitch would be
Captain and Coke.
No, a pumpkin spice vodka.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's a thing. Pumpkin spice flavored vodka.
Well, I'm gonna need to get me something.
that is the definition basic white girl drink, man. I mean,
well, I am a basic white girl, so
America's most hated thing. Yeah.
It's not bad. Have you ever actually tried the pumpkin spice?
Actually, what am I talking about? White men are America's most hated thing. But anyway, I don't mind because I like pumpkin pie. So like I like pumpkin spice. I just don't understand why it needs to go in everything. I don't like pumpkin spice flavored coffee because I drink coffee black. So like I like my coffee to taste like, dark roast.
Because we like to capitalize off of popular things. And so if we have pumpkin spice one thing, we have to have pumpkin spice everything. Don't you understand that?
You know what I'd like to actually try? Pumpkin spice ice cream. I think that would be good.
Oh, it would be.
That's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah. Well, like, they came out with a hard seltzer in the form of White Claw. And it was so popular that literally every single other beer brand had to come out with their own hard seltzer.
Right.
And White Claw isn't even that good. Trulies are the best hard seltzer. And you can quote me on that, bitches.
Well, yeah, you're not alone in that opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Trulies are
Feels nice
truly
to be
well
validated.
Yeah.
Okay, so Polly, do you have anything that you want to show with the audience?
Let's see. Let me think. Well, I am continuing my never-ending mission to lose subscribers. So I have 2 different narration reads that'll be coming up this week. I recorded 2 chapters of American Psycho. One which I already put up. The other one which I am in the middle of editing, but then didn't get back to because I got my new keyboard. So I got all excited and just started typing shit because, it's so slick. It glows. The keyboard. When you plug it in, it lights up.
Don't they normally light up?
Not well. If you buy one that does, yes, it is normal for them to light up.
I think all keyboards should light up because what if I wanted to type in the dark?
Yeah, Brandon Young is Brett Easton Ellis. Yeah, the but I've been rereading Bret Easton Ellis's only nonfiction book, simply called White, and it's got so many quotable lines because the man is a master wordsmith, in my opinion. Where he's just talking about like politics and stuff and his perspective of him. He's not talking about politics. He's talking about people's reaction to politics and how he didn't even vote in the 2016 election because he says, I come from already assured California. There really wasn't a point as I saw it. But his statements on what he saw the media doing and his friends doing and how they all became part of the resistance by somehow typing on Twitter in that account to resist. He's got so many hilarious lines that I thought about putting up like a few shorts of them. I don't know. But tomorrow is Monday. So that's on my channel. Those live reads will be going up. I've got an animated video that tonight I'm going to try and talk Far into doing the drawings for. We'll see. That's very early on. I got this idea, and I really want Far to do one of her animatic drawings for it. We'll see if I can talk her into it. If she finds it funny, she'll do it. She's one of those people that has to be inspired to do something. Do you know what I mean? But tomorrow's Monday, so AAA stream. I will be over on Drunken Uncle's channel, of course, with Sinatra and Drunkle because it's his channel.
You guys make really good content to listen to while at work.
You don't listen to that smut, do you?
Yeah, I do.
It's gonna rot your brain, man. That shit's trash.
Were you turning me off of your live stream?
I'm just telling you. It's
All right.
I mean, you think porn actresses show their work to their parents? No. Yeah.
Am I your mom? Do I look like your mother?
No, not even a little.
There you go.
So yeah,
I'm not gonna chastise you for
5:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island tomorrow on Drunkle's channel, and then on Wednesday again 5:30 Eastern, 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island over on my channel for AAA. Yay! And then Sinatra's on Friday, of course, same time. Awesome. And you, Weebo?
So so tomorrow I'll be on side quest. Friday I'll be on side quest. And in between that, I hope to produce a Thought Patrol video.
Really?
Yes.
Who are you let slip? Who on? Any hints? Any suggestions?
I don't know. But you might get a house tour out of it. And by
house shit. Yeah, okay. All right.
A small little introduction into the rooms outside of this background in the Weebo cave.
Oh, a house tour of your house.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the e-thought that just
she already gave the e-thought that I am covering already gave her apartment.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I get
Mhm.
okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay.
I had a brilliant idea, and like straight up, it's the most evil thing that I could think of, and that coupled with the rest of the content for the Thought Patrol is just gonna put me, I don't know, in a good place. I'm really psyched about this video, and like, I know I've made promises about content in the past.
I always fulfill every content promise I make.
I'm talking to the audience, not you, Polly. I know I made promises for content in the past, but this one I actually can see myself fulfilling to the bitter sweet end. And the reason why is because I actually have a beginning, a middle, and like an actual thesis argument here that I can make without sounding like a repetitive ninny bitch. That
Ninny.
came out of any repetitive ninny of like 20 other YouTube opinions that are out there. This one will have substance and something else. I'm too drunk to figure it out.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
That certain weebness.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, I feel good about it. I have all of the content. I have all of the arguments that I could possibly want. I've already conscripted our boyfriend into helping me make this video because I need someone to hold the camera while I traverse around the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I just gotta that most of that's gonna be the intro, and then the rest of the video is gonna be me in my lovely Thought Patrol uniform.
Nice.
I'm excited. And I'm so glad that I waited to post this one because this one's actually topical and it sends a different message than the previous ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, new Weebo video is always a good thing. Thank you. The next 6 minutes. Anyway, so side quest tomorrow, side quest Friday, video at some point in the next 7 days. We'll find out when. It's all dependent on how fast I can tippity tappity at my keyboard in a concise manner. But yeah.
Gamer Valine shows up as we're saying bye. Oh no, she was here. Oh no, how did I not see that? Yeah, whatever.
Bye.
Yeah, no shit.
So, all ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. Thank you, Polly, for joining me this fine evening. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to those who commented, liked, shared, subscribed, and all of the rest. We deeply appreciate all of the things that you guys do because that makes this show happen. Polly and I will be back next week. Same time, same place, same odor, same face. Right, Polly?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We may not have grad caps on next week, though. So
we won't. This is getting a little itchy.
Jesus.
Because I'm tight, dear.
Holy fuck.
It's a violent sneezer.
You just let me know earlier what kind of hat and I'll be ready.
Okay.
I was unprepared.
I'm sorry.
That's just,
this was kind of an impulse decision here.
Why don't we go with like propeller beanies next time or something?
I don't have a propeller beanie.
Well, let me know what hat you do have and I'll make it work.
I have a bowler hat. How about that one?
A what?
A bowler hat.
A baller hat?
Bowler hat.
Is it you mean a bowler hat? Like the round top fedora deals? How do you spell it?
BOWLER.
Is that how you say that word? I always thought it was bowler.
No. Because then it would be spelled like bowl, like BOWL.
Yeah, you got a point.
Wait, hang on. It is spelled like that.
BOWLER.
Is it pronounced bowler or bowler?
I was always bowler, but I don't know. The derby, yeah, sure, or the billy cock. Okay, yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now that we're on the same page here now. Yeah, I can be here with a Dr. Watson hat next week, sure.
All right then. See you then. Shit. Goodbye.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.